Hey everyone, welcome to Trevor Talks. It's been a while, so I wanted to thank everyone who supported me over at Mouse N Joypad. It was a real fun ride, and now I'm ready to get back to reviewing games for you all. Today we're going to be talking about Deadly Tower of Monsters, a game most of you received for free on PlayStation Plus, but I had literally finished on PC about a week before they announced that, so hey, why not?
I have come here to end your empire and free these apes from your tyranny.
I even played it 2 times over. It's a perfect game for me to tackle. I love film, I love cheesy films, and I love cheesy games about cheese. That's why next week I'm reviewing Chester Cheetah, Too Cool to Fool. Deadly Tower of Monsters is a third-person hack-and-shoot adventure game that plays a loving homage to classic B films from the 60s and 70s. The game's campy soundtrack and hammy dialogue is accompanied by the film's egotistical director in a hilarious audio commentary for the in-game film.
A lot of people complain that the fight scenes went on a little too long in my movie, that there wasn't enough story and exposition. Excuse me, what kind of movie did you decide to go see?
Taking place on a mysterious island, you play 3 characters who must journey up a huge tower to bring down an evil emperor. As you crawl up the vertical dungeon, you'll come across booths and changing pods in order to choose and best equip one of your 3 characters. While it may sound simplistic, the story is actually really fun due to all the interesting set pieces and homages you'll discover. You start off in a small village filled with Congo-inspired primates, working your way through dinosaur ecodomes, all the way up to the Citadel's evil laboratories. All the while, Dan Smith, the film's director, breaks the illusion by pointing out all the clearly visible strings in his magnum opus.
Oh, the squids. Some board member had these nephews who really wanted to be in the films. They made me cast them as squids.
What the game lacks in character motivation and traditional storytelling is made up for by the character study of an incompetent director and his childish ramblings.
My effects team kept assuring me the strings wouldn't be visible in the final cut, but I could see them.
One thing that's bittersweet is that the game can be beaten in an afternoon, and the developers have relied on their entertaining experience as their only replay value. Granted, they aren't wrong, but the game lacks a Game Plus, alternate costumes, or anything to keep you playing. Why include a basic survival mode but fail to add a difficulty setting? I'll never know. Normally when I see a game with a gimmick, I get kinda concerned that the gameplay will take a back seat. I have to say, I'm pleasantly surprised at how well this game plays. Running and jumping around the tower could be a nightmare, but thankfully the developers nailed the right balance for challenging and fair platforming. You can lock on and fire with the R2 button while striking with the square button. It feels very natural and easy to pick up. The few problems I have is that you have to approach an edge in order to shoot downwards, and sometimes you're just not quite close enough to lock onto that. You'll be given a booster rocket, which does immeasurably take the risk out of the platforming. When you fall off an edge, you can press the L1 button and it'll magically transport you back to where you fell off, and that defeats any sense of vertigo the game had going for it. Not that I would be afraid. Falling from the tower is breathtakingly fun. Flying to your destination is not only technically impressive, but also very innovative and exhilarating. To go back up, there are teleporters throughout the map, meaning you can get around the island very quickly. So like Roth, just go ahead and jump. There's rings to fly through, targets to shoot, and a couple of boss battles in free fall as well. The game's developers do a fantastic job of creating a very linear experience, but without making it feel like a hallway. It's more like a fast walk through a Disneyland line and getting to take in everything very quickly.
So, I created this monster as sort of an homage, in respect to that film. I have the darndest time with that word homage.
Despite its brisk pace, the timing is almost perfect. Just as you start to get bored with a weapon, you'll find a new one. Surroundings are starting to get a little stale. They mix it up with some cheaply produced film set. The game has a fantastic understanding of its tone, and it's not afraid to throw every idea at you. The weapons throughout this game are actually quite impressive. There's a wide range of melee weapons from whips, swords, to bows, and ranged weapons like ray guns, flamethrowers, and wave energy. You'll be able to collect cogs throughout the game, which you can use to upgrade those weapons. You can also use gold to upgrade your character, but again, the game is so short, you'll rarely ever pay much attention to this aspect. The game sides on being a little too easy, so these elements feel unnecessary and only slow down the gameplay. It is cool getting Kylo Ren's lightsaber though, so some upgrades are worth the time, but there doesn't seem to be enough gold or cogs to make a dent without doing some serious grinding. Each of the 3 characters have unique moves and abilities as well. The robot, who looks like he would fit right in the Fallout universe, can slow down time and the enemies around him. Scarlet Nova, the daughter of the evil Emperor, can do a charged running attack, while Dick Starspeed can drop C4 bombs. These moves will need to be used in order to progress in the game as well, but this feels slightly tacked on and in some cases a tad annoying when you have to backtrack to find a changing pod. The game's musical score is lighthearted and adventurous, but it lacks a lot of diversity. You'll hear the same orchestral rise over and over, which gets close to becoming annoying, but hides behind how often the game shifts to alternate tracks. The audio design is especially good, filled with enough audio jokes to make Wilhelm scream in delight. Voice acting is quite spectacular as well, especially George Robinson in his portrayal of Dan Smith.
But we needed more monsters. Oh, please, more monsters. So we had this brilliant idea. If you stick a puppy inside an old vacuum cleaner, wham, instant monster.
He's hilarious anytime he starts talking through dramatic moments, explaining every shortcut he took, and going on sexist rants.
Unfortunately, we skimped on the Dick Starspeed puppet a little.
The Earthman is not for you to eat, fiend!
Oh, this was groundbreaking. We had the woman rescuing the man for once. We were really ahead of our time with this scene, but well, then again, I've always been rather progressive.
Overall, Deadly Tower of Monsters gives you everything you could possibly want if you enjoy a goofy premise and fun gameplay. I think the key word here is fun, and Deadly Tower of Monsters delivers on every level. You'll be doing yourself a disservice if you don't at least pick this up and give it a shot. While it may be short, it's a game I'll probably go back and replay every couple of years just for the laughs. And to be honest, I really just love the robot's hilarious nervous twitch.
Dick. Malfunction. Dick. Malfunction.
Hey, thanks for joining me for another one of my game reviews. So, what do you think my next game should be? I just played Everyone's Gone to the Rapture, but I could also discuss a classic game if you'd rather. So leave your opinions in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe. I'll talk to you all next time.
Yes, the henchmen can breathe without helmets on. I get asked that a lot by people trying to find plot holes. And that's your answer, people. It's not a plot hole. It's not like we ran out of budget and couldn't afford to buy more glass bubbles. No, sir, that's nonsense.